Good morning. Welcome back to See You in the AM. Great to be with you here. And I am excited as we're going to continue with what we've been doing already with part 3 of goal setting and goal achievement. And we'll wrap that up tomorrow in the 4th part of the series. I just want to remind people that today's the day. Tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be going live from my personal page, and that will be what we have been referring to as the Closer Connection. I encourage everyone to get on there. It's a live broadcast. Participate. Have some fun with it. Come in, ask some questions, share ideas. That's what it's about. It's creating this community of people that are connected, and thus the name Closer Connection. So again, I encourage everyone to take part in that and have some fun with it and learn and grow with it as well. That's the real purpose of it. So without further ado, let's get started with what we're already building on and get a review of what we had as an assignment from yesterday. So yesterday we suggested an assignment where you are going to then put at the top of every single piece of paper a minimum of 12 for each one of the minimally 3 goals in the 4 focuses, and list that goal at the top of the paper, and then go through the 3 W's: the when, the what, and the who, and answer those questions: what is needed and who is needed, and creating those markers for each one of these goals. And then, of course, once you have that, start putting it into action. There's no better time than the present. But as far as the assignment goes, that was completing that. So I am, again, hopeful that people have taken that seriously. The more people that take that seriously, the more people will be having success in achieving their goals. Because, again, this is the first stages, and now we're going to move on to the next stage, which is also essential in successful goal achievement. Now, what we're going to cover today is what I call the AA, awareness and accountability. I preach accountability, and you'll see posts on the Creating Closers page nightly preaching accountability about things we talked about on See You in the AM, etc. But there is no greater tool that a closer has, as I mentioned as we were wrapping up the foundation section, than self-awareness and accountability. In goal setting, it is equally as important. We talked about having markers as part of our plan, the whens, and that's why you have markers, is you can then gauge or judge yourself based on where you are at in the progress towards goals. Now, that cannot happen unless you are doing self-analysis and looking back and saying, where am I? What am I doing well? What can I improve upon? And knowing not just that, but again, motivating yourself. When you've seen you're doing things well and you're hitting these markers, that's part of this awareness, is you're motivated to continue on and be successful. And if you are not hitting those markers, well, that's a biggest billboard you could possibly have, letting you know, hey, let me adjust something. It doesn't mean the game's over and I failed, I'm not going to reach my goal. Quite the contrary. It means that we need to reassess, readjust. And the only way that adjustments can happen is through that awareness and through that accountability. The ability to adjust is what's going to facilitate you reaching your goals versus just having nice goals with nice plans on paper. If you go through and you wait until the end and say, why didn't I reach it? Well, of course you're not going to reach it. You got to know along the way, are you on track? And if you're not, then adjusting and being, call it mobile in terms of being able to adjust and be successful. Again, this is also something that helps you to keep your focus. When you are aware and you're accountable, you're focused, like blinders on. And again, you could be the best in the world, a thoroughbred racehorse. I mean, they put blinders on them as they're running down the track so they don't get distracted. I mean, they're bred to do one thing, from running around the track at the highest speed they possibly can. But they still need blinders. No different here. We need to put some blinders on. We need to be focused, and we need to be laser focused on what it is that we're looking to accomplish. And that's going to happen through that awareness and through that accountability. So I want to wrap up with another assignment for today, and this will take us into our final segment tomorrow morning, and I will suggest that everyone does take these serious. I will post this up on the blog like I've been doing the past couple days, so that way you have access to the assignment as well. I've been putting them right at the top of the blog post, so that way it's easily accessible. You don't have to even scroll through the rest, but the rest of it's there to help you. It's a lot of wonderful information that will help you in terms of everything we're talking about here on the show. So again, what I would like you to do is put together an immediate term goal. So we've only talked about short and long-term goals. Immediate term goal to me is like tomorrow. So for example, this evening, again, you could do this now. I don't want to suggest you have to wait to do this, but putting together an immediate term goal. If you're watching this first thing in the morning, as I always suggest people do, you could do this right now. Create a goal of what it is that you plan to achieve today. If it means, for example, making a certain number of contacts today, well, then you need to plan accordingly and have markers throughout the day to make sure that you are on track for that to make your number of contacts. Again, you have to create the goal, write it down, plan, and then take action. Throughout the day, have accountability like we've just talked about. And when you're accountable, making the adjustments that are necessary. If you're behind in terms of number of contacts, for our example, then adjusting to make sure you maybe take one less break between that and the next marker and catch up the number of contacts you need to be making. So again, taking the same process and put it into action. Do it with an immediate term goal and see the results of that by the end of the day, or if you're not doing this until later today and using this for tomorrow, whatever is better for you, fitting into your schedule. But again, you can put these things into practice and start seeing the fruits of your labor. Great thing to be doing. So let's go ahead and wrap things up with a quote like we always do. This is a quote from Bob Proctor, who says, "Accountability is the glue that ties commitment to results." I love that quote because you guys know how I feel about accountability. It is everything to me. So again, be accountable, be successful, set a goal, write it, plan it, put it into action, be accountable, make it happen, and celebrate your success this afternoon or this evening when that goal has been achieved. Have an awesome day. I'll look forward to tomorrow to wrapping up our goal setting. See you in the AM.